Are you defined by fear, or is it a stepping stone to find your purpose? Every day is a new opportunity. Young and old, the chains of age are broken, impossibilities are shattered, and dreams are born. Heartache is felt, but only temporary. Who will change the minds of the future? And is that person? Is it you?
What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking.
What's up, everyone? As you see, it's your host, as always, C. Holmes in the building, and we always making an impact, throwing the haymakers and much more. It's 2025, and you can see I'm not here by alone. Well, I got some other haymakers that are gonna be dropping some impact and influence. So you ain't ready for this. You ain't ready for this. So we about to knock it out of the park. So, hey, I'm gonna let them introduce them as they go. So let's go ahead and start with you know what? We'll start with you, Derek. So introduce yourself, and then we'll round about to the man himself, Chip Baker. So how y'all feeling? Let's start with you, DP.
T. Holmes, good to be here. It is a blessing. It is day 22,827, and it is a blessing, an absolute blessing to spend it with you, making it better for other folks as we have it for ourselves.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And let's see, we'll go with Charles. Charles, how you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling?
Good morning, gentlemen, and good morning, audience out there. Man, appreciate you having us on your platform, Chris. It's always a blessing to be here with you. Again, my name is Charles Woods. I am a 20 plus year educator. I am a best-selling author and founder of Woods Works Publishing. I'm a father, a husband, uncle, brother, and so excited and proud of my two daughters that are in college now, and my niece that is also in college.
Cool, cool, cool. Adrian, if you unmute yourself as we go, how you feeling? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling wonderful. And it's always a great day when you wake up and you see Chip Baker. So,
Let's go.
I hear that. I
right?
hear that.
I'm Adrian Jackson Sr. I am a almost 29-year administrator at Cal Farley's Boys Ranch. I've worked with at-risk youth since I have graduated from college. I am a professional bird dog trainer, also one of the few African American bird dog trainers in Texas. I've done that for nearly 30 years, and I've been married for 31 years. We got three wonderful kids. Still got one left at home, 17-year-old boy, and I am the proud grandfather of two, a little boy and a little girl. So amazing time. C. Holmes, thank you for having us on, and I look forward to this conversation.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then we have Darius. You know, you gonna come with the energy.
What's up, brothers? Blessings and good morning, man. Before I even get started, I just want to first and foremost thank our Heavenly Father, man, for blessing us with his gift of life, making all of this possible this morning, man. And also extend my gratitude to our brother Chip Baker, my brother Chris Holmes, and all my brothers and viewing audience, man. Chip has been a very golden instrumental value to my life, along with my brother Chris. Charles and everyone else that's on, Adrian and Derek as well, man. But blessings and gratitude and agape love to each and every one of you guys. My name is Darius Bradley Sr. I'm a proud father and husband. Been with my wife for 28 years. We have three phenomenal kids. I'm also a multiple best-selling author, and I give a lot of that credit to our brother Chip Baker for helping me on this journey, and also my brother Charles Woods. Man, his publishing company is phenomenal, man. Woods Works Publishing, man. I thank you guys so very much. I'm also Divine Encourager. That's the title. That's also the gift of Go Get It. I am a mailman for our Heavenly Father. I'm delivering this gift unconditionally, wholeheartedly, intentionally, every single day, the way that He see fit for me to do so, man. I'm just a proud guy. I love life. I love people. I know our brother DP has that same agape love for everyone, man. But I live in an atmosphere of gratitude with an extension of reciprocity. And I'm just so happy to be here doing so with each and every one of you. Again, thank you, Brother Chip. Thank you, Brother Chris. And I love each and every one of you guys. Agape always.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And now we come down to it. The man with the plan. We talking about Chip Baker. Go get it. Look, he's trying to laugh.
Get it. That's awesome, man. Well, first, man, Chris, thank you so much for having us on your platform. And, you know, always supporting, you know, you being a fellow Impact and Influence author as well. You know, always supporting and having us on your platform, man. So truly appreciative of that. Thanks to the co-authors, man, for saying yes. Grateful for them. They add value to my life, and we are all learning and growing together, striving to be the best versions of ourselves so that we can give the best versions of ourselves to others. But I am Chip Baker, 4th generation educator, teacher, former coach, blessed and fortunate to be raised by some great people, as well as be around some awesome folks to learn from in my career. Started my YouTube channel, podcast, Success Chronicles, about 8 years ago. And I interview people from all walks of life, share their stories for positive inspiration and motivation. Started writing books about 6 years ago to the date. Been a part of, published 23 of those. And man, that's a blessing. That puts a smile on my face every time, because where I'm from, I didn't grow up around people that wrote books. And so, man, it's just an honor to have people in my life to support me. It's an honor to have people in my life that believe in me, that have shown me the way with different things, and to have people in my life that don't let me fail, right? You know, just look out for me and say, hey, man, like, no, it's all right. I got you. And some of those guys are here on this call too. So grateful for them. But again, that's who I am. And again, thanks, Chris, for having us. You muted, brother.
Yeah, electronic quick transition. So like, absolutely. So as we get things going, like, there's a new release, ain't there? You know, something in the woods, you know, telling I don't know. So Chip, is something new coming out or something like that?
Yeah, I heard that there was something that was coming, I think.
Oh,
what is that? What is that? So we just released the Impact of Influence Volume 10, Living and Leaving a Legacy. And so, man, we're truly excited. You know, we've done the series, Volume 10. This is the last one of the series. And so it's really important, but really deep, because it's living and leaving a legacy, you know. And so, man, legacy is rich. When you reflect on it, sometimes legacy is tough. When you think on it for the future, man, it gets really deep, right? And so that's what that one is about. And I'm super excited, because not only do we have chapters in this one, but we have legacy letters. And so we have letters that we want to leave for our loved ones about our legacy. So, man, I'm truly excited for it. It's been getting a lot of good buzz so far, and man, it's on.
It's on. So, as we build this up, because I know we have all our fellow impacting authors going to leave their story and much more. So I'm going to pretty much roundabout, and then we're going to come back to you, Chip.
Okay.
Start with you, DP. So, what was your chapter, or like, how was your feel of like writing your part of the impact in this book? Because I'm pretty sure like all our fellow authors on the show is part of this book, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes. So, DP, what's your storyline of how you gonna leave your legacy?
This opportunity was really, it was the new flagpole as we advance forward and up in what we do. And to be thankful for Chip, for his leadership, for Brother Woods, for all the other authors in this thing that inspire me to tell the stories. And we're all this accumulation of people who love us. And that's the only way we arrive is we're just covered in love by people in our surroundings, and some from a distance, some from up close. I'm currently in my hometown of Arlington, Virginia, just outside of DC. And the reason why is that yesterday we sent my aunt Tuda home. And she was a part of this. She was a part of the story of all the people who loved on me and the people who inspired me, the people who had impact on me. And I have her laugh. And if I'm truly blessed, I have her smile. This was a woman that marched in civil rights, went to the Cotton Club, was a fashion diva, but took me to New Jersey and let me experience sports in a way that I couldn't in DC. She was an absolute firestorm of a human being, a beautiful woman whose laugh was just a sonic boom. If a sonic boom could laugh, that's what it would sound like. And to tell these stories and share these stories, and the story was a big part of the funeral service yesterday because they wanted people to tell the story. Let us celebrate her life. Let's remember who she was, and it was a connecting thing for all of us. And these books, these chapters, these stories, these lessons are all just love stories. If we live our life right, it's just a love story, day by day, moment by moment, interaction by interaction. We are a love story. And sometimes we cry in that love story because it's so powerful. Sometimes we smile, we laugh, we feel, we grow, and then we move forward with that love attached to us, covering us for the better version of us and everybody around us. So her love reached everybody in the church, in the house, the meeting place that we met, and in the community that we live in. My chapter was just that, a love story. It allowed me to say thank you to coaches. It allowed me to say thank you to educators, to teachers who took the extra step in loving me forward. And then the people in my community, my heroes that we're accumulation of, I got to say thank you. And those are the three things that Chip, again, I appreciate you because you allowed me to open that door of being able to say my three favorite things so much, so often, and mean it. Thank you, love you, well done. And that is any story that we tell, the victories that we learn, the lessons learned, and the people who love us. Thank you, love you, well done.
Man, it's just something powerful, especially like we can make an impact to others. And it kind of goes back to that legacy thing and much more. You never know. And like I'm glad that you brought that those great points with your chapters, because that's like a nice reminder of that. Because you never know who's watching, who needs your support. So I love everything that you said on that and more. So Charles Woods, how did you leave your impact with this, or your legacy, as you may say?
All right. First off, I want to say, man, it's always, man, great to hear DP, man. Like,
Yes.
boy, when it comes out of your mouth, DP, you talking about inspiring, man. I was thinking, like, man, why is he starting with DP? But it's always great to hear what's coming out of DP's mouth, man, and what you pour into us. It's always great. But to me, just to piggyback a little bit off of that, this was hard for me. Like, man, I'm a kid that grew up, I was born in 76, really grew up in the 80s. And 80s were good for some, and some 80s it was a turning point in lives, man. Like, and for me, I felt like it was a turning point in my life. Like, I got to see a great neighborhood where it's family oriented, and we all took care of each other. We all loved on each other from a neighborhood that were kind of at ends. That was the age of when crack cocaine came out and people were trying to make money, and they were trying to do it the easy and the quick way. They thought it was the easy way. But I got to see that tear up our neighborhood. So me, man, when you think about legacy, I never, like as a kid, it never crossed my mind. I never thought about legacy. Like, to tell you the truth, until like you know, we talk about it a little bit, but until Chip brought this up and put this in a book, I really never thought about what I wanted my legacy to be, because it seems like I've always been trying to push and fight to get ahead, or to stay ahead, or to make sure I'm taking care of those that I love, those in my circle, those around me, man. Just head down, doing the work, trying to make more out of everything. So, you know, really never really thought about a legacy, man. And it was hard for me, man. But when I just thought about it and just thought about the life I live, and like DP said, a life filled with a lot of different people loving on me, taking care of me. I just thought about, man, being good people. Like that phrase where you say, hey, man, they good people. Or this person, they good people, man.
Mhm.
Just for me, man, the legacy is about just being good people, man. Just taking care of those that are in need, not looking for anything in return. Being empathetic, you know, supporting people, helping the man next to you, the woman next to you, and helping, trying to push them forward when you see struggles. Trying to make this world, like, truly, man, we hear it, trying to make the world a better place, but truly trying to make the world a better place by maybe just your environment, your community, those people that you interact with on a daily basis, just trying to make it better for those individuals, man. But for me, it was something that I think about all the time, like just being good people to other people, man. There's so much negativity out there, and there's more. I think there's more goodness out there. I think there's more great things out there, but we live in a world where people like to throw the negativity out there in front of everything. You know, we focus on the negativity. We put it on social media. We want to see it always out there, but there is a lot of great things going on, man. And I just want to be a part of that great stuff, man. Like I said, I'm really proud of my two daughters that are in college now, pushing to make it. Really proud of my niece who's in college, trying to push it and make it a better place. That's what I like to see, man. People do better, trying to make this world a better place, just being good people.
But before we go to our next impacting author, I gotta ask you this, Charles, because I feel like it goes along with what you were saying. Like, what helped you get over the hurdle of so much negativity, or say adversity? Because I think Go ahead.
The people that I surround myself with. We don't do anything alone in this world. And if we think we are the end all say all about things, then we're wrong, man. I surround myself with a great group of gentlemen that are my friends to this day. The teachers, the coaches that I interact with, my sisters, my mom and dad. You can take good out of every situation, man. Just making sure you surround yourself with good people and being a light yourself, being a spark yourself, knowing things not gonna always be how you want them to be. You know, you're not gonna have always good situations, but trying to take the bright side of things and push them forward. And your circle is so important. I know we hear it all the time and we tell people all the time, but it is nothing like a good circle of people that's uplifting. You never want to be, what they say, you never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Like, you want to make sure you surround yourself with people that can pour into you just as much as you can pour into them, man. So it's that circle of people. Like I said, like before, concrete connections, man, they are the most vital thing out there that you can have to help you as a resource in life.
Thank you for that. You know, we need a reminder of the people that we surround ourselves is a huge influence of how we also see the world today. So thank you for all those strong words. Now let's move along. We're moving to Adrian.
Man.
Adrian, so man, how you leaving the impact in your part of the section of the book, man? I know you got haymakers all over the place. I feel like I got bob and weave. Like I feel like
I know, right?
Ring the bell, because I feel like Tyson's come like somebody rung the bell. I go, wait a minute, like hold up, you rung the bell?
Hey, I'm with Charles though. Hey, I'm glad that Charles was in between Me and DP, because DP just be dropping that knowledge. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and he had posted a video at some point, and man, it gets me rocking and rolling. And actually, that is one of the amazing things about this journey, because I started in volume 8, and Chip already had all these amazing folks. And so what has ended up happening was my social media friend group now has evolved with volume 8, volume 9, and now with volume 10, as we have became friends. And so the amazing things that all these authors have been doing now has been positively impacting my life, because signing up to volume 8 now has put me in the same space with DP and Darius and Chris and Charles and all the other authors that has been. So I just wake up to some really amazing things that all the co-authors have been doing in their world and sharing it through social media. So it's been an uplifting spirit because of that. Volume 10 was a hard one, because I didn't see myself as a person that has a legacy built or building stage. I'm from the projects, and when I left home to go play college basketball, well, I left home to go get a degree, and the means was college basketball, because the only thing I wanted to do at that moment in time was to meet the expectations of my parents, who did not have education, and they wanted that for all 9 of us to be educated, which we are, and I have older brothers and sisters that's already was walking the walk, so I had shoes to fill. That was on my mind when I left home. That, what, leaving something for others, I just wanted to survive, and shortly after that, I became a young husband and young father. And so I just wanted the best for my family, However, I did see some things, and I started my chapter off that way. I did see some things I wanted. And one of the things I did see a retiring administrator who I didn't really care much for. I did see how people was talking about his legacy at that moment. That's not the word I was using, but their experience with this administrator. And I knew this. I knew when my time was going to be over, I wanted people to say that about me. I wanted to work at this organization in a manner in which people thought that Adrian did great things for them as individuals, also, not just for the company, but as them. I wanted to be able to touch their life too, as coworkers and my peers, along as with the kids. So I did know that. And the title of my chapter is Perfect Tribute, because I went to a funeral to support a friend. So I didn't really know the person that had passed. And so it's different when you don't go to a funeral and you don't know the person you're going to support. It's kind of you at a funeral differently. And the pastor spoke on the perfect tribute. And this was probably 20 years ago. And so that sermon stuck with me, including that title. And here we go. Chip is sending an email saying, hey, would you be a part of volume 10? And I immediately knew when he told me the focus point that my title was Perfect Tribute. I immediately knew that. I immediately knew how my first chapter was, because ever since that retirement party, I've always worked in a way that I wanted people to say that about me when I get ready. Now I'm looking at retirement in a few years, because I've been here for 28 years. That's just part of it. And I'm turning 50, you start thinking about that. And I hope that when I have my retirement party, that I have the same people that I poured into stand up to the mic and say what I heard said to that administrator. So given the opportunity in volume 10, I did ask my wife, my 2 daughters, my 17-year-old son, my 3-year-old granddaughter, and my 4-year-old grandson, what does it mean to live a legacy? And because I wanted them to be a part of it, you know, and I put their quote in there as they said it. So one of the coolest quotes is, I asked my grandson, he said, "Look at my mustache." And he had a milk mustache, you know, and that's his quote in there, right? And you know, just the joy of that, you know. And I believe my granddaughter said, "I don't know," you know, which he don't, and so, but my daughters and my son and my wife put a lot of thought. And I remember my oldest daughter, she was nearly at the end, because she had put so much effort in what her quote was going to be, that she wanted. So given that opportunity to be a part of volume 10, going through all this reflection, I also wanted to involve my family in this journey. And you know, because not always a guy from the projects get to be in one of these.
Better represent.
You know? And now I'm a 3-time best-selling author from the projects. I'll never forget where I come from.
Wait. We can't just do it like that. You better say it again with some emphasis.
3-time best-selling author from the projects.
You better give me some. I am a what is it? Say it one more time.
3-time best-selling author from St. Mary Drive, Lake Charles, Louisiana.
There we go.
and you know, the thing is, I say that because I am proud, very proud, and of my community. That I didn't make it out of projects. My life and livelihood, and I was developed there. And I love where I live. My neighborhood no longer stands, and it's a shame. And I remember asking my dad, you know, why did we live in the projects? And he said, that's what we can afford and be able to give you guys everything. I respect that, you know. So thank you, Chip Baker, man. You know, the journey has been amazing. And it's been amazing, not just for me. It's been amazing for my family and my friends, my brothers and sisters. And I got to say thank you in the best way, publicly, in writing, where everybody in the world could see forever. Forever. These books, digitally and hard copy, will exist well beyond my life. And somebody can always go back and read that. My great-great-great-grandkids, who I will never meet, knows how I feel about their great-great-grandmother. Knows how I feel about will be their grandmothers and grandfathers, you know? And so thank you. Thank you. And also to being a part of this amazing community that you have involved me in, that is going to make me a significantly better person moving on. So thank you.
Man, oh man. Just love that. Especially coming from the beginnings of that, and then having your parents and just having your whole family being a contribution to it as well. I mean, we can't just do this alone. We all need each other when it comes down to it, so we can make the impact into others. And you never know who's watching. I gotta remind myself as that, so that's a good reminder, and just giving back and much more. Woo-wee! We got some impacting, but you know who I'm going to? Like, he over here shaking his head, and there is like you look, he's starting to smile, man. Like he getting ready for it. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Darius, because it's about to be your time to tell how you feel. I know you come with the energy. You're gonna ring the bell, because you know he gonna knock it out the park. He ready for a fight, y'all.
Oh man,
this is good. So how you feeling? How you feeling? And what was your contribution to this great book?
Man, Chris, bro, you know, I appreciate the introduction, bro. But that's, as I sit here and look at the screen, I feel the exact same way. about each and every one of you guys, man. And I'm just so grateful, man. You know what I'm saying? When you're grateful and you don't know how to explain it and or express it, you know it has to be ineffable, bro. So that's how I feel about everything that's going on right here. My heart is racing, man, as I'm listening to Brother Adrian, Brother Charles, Brother DP, Brother CB, and yourself, Brother Chris, man. I'm just sitting here thanking God, man. Thanking God for the opportunity, man, just to be a part of something so great and so amazing. And, you know, I've been a part of several of the Impact of Influence book series from the very start. And, man, just truly to Chip and for him being obedient to our Heavenly Father for even just doing this assignment, right, unconditionally, and involving so many others who are also pursuing the same. And that's just to better our best and make sure that we add value to others as well. And so, man, when I had the opportunity to be in volume 10, which is the last series, and I'm grateful for that, excited, I thought of my father living and leaving a legacy, right? I thought of my father, and my heart races right now as I speak of him, because my father passed when he was 41 years old, and I was at the age of 15. And I'm from New Orleans, man, uptown New Orleans, man, born and raised, 17th Ward. Love my hometown, man. Love my city, love my state, right? And my dad was a very hardworking man, extremely hardworking man. He was also in the military. He owned his own janitorial service. So I've been pushing brums and swinging mops at an early age, man. They were bigger than me. And I'm running around. You know, back in the day, those mops, they were the big, huge.
Bigger
mops.
than you.
Oh,
bigger than you.
Yeah, man. And my dad had the confidence in me that I can go and push that mop and go and sweep that floor with that big old broom and that vacuum and all that good stuff. And I'll share that to say those are the principles, the pillars and the foundation that I did not know that were going to still carry me, you know, with me at the age of 47 now. And like I said earlier, man, my beautiful wife, Desiree, and our 3 phenomenal children. Our oldest being Darius Jr., our baby girl, our middle, my favorite daughter, because she's my only, Deonce, and my baby boy, Daniel, who we call Bubba. He's 13 years old. I'm 6'2", and he's 6'2 and a half. Guys.
Bubba.
So that's where the name comes from, Big Bub. That's my guy. But living and leaving a legacy was something that was more than just a title to me, right? To live and leave a legacy, that means trials and tribulations. That means peaks and valleys, which parallels the rhythm of a heartbeat. It goes up and down. So when I look at the peaks and valleys of life, and I think of the trials and the tribulations, it's the heartbeat. It's the heartbeat. And without the heartbeat, there's nothing else. And my father illustrated what a heartbeat looks like so profoundly. Even when I didn't understand at the moment, at the time, I grew into the understanding, and I'm still growing into the understanding. So when I was just around 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere up in there, my father shared a story with me, and I wrote about this in the previous book, Impact of Influence, and I continued it into volume 10. My father said, when you become a man, you take care of your wife and your children no matter what. Now, back then, I didn't fully grasp that. I'm still a kid myself, right? But as I became a man and I started going through adult trials and tribulations and trying to figure it out with all of the hovering question marks above my head, and there's no answer immediately to my left or to my right, and I had to grow through, like, man, my brother Chip often said, I had to grow through the things that I was going through, and I'll parallel that with pressing through the test. And one may ask, why would you press through the test? Well, it enables us to stretch and get to the answered prayers that our Heavenly Father has set before us, not behind us, not right where we are. So if he's putting it before us, that's telling me that he intends for us to grow beyond what we're currently going through. But you have to go through some stuff to figure that out. And so when my father died at the age of 41 and I was only 15, he hadn't had the opportunity to share with me what I thought and what I knew I needed becoming a young man into adulthood. But he gave me some things that stuck with me before I understood what the things were that he was given. It was a toolbox, and it has tools in that I was kind of familiar with. Then there's some tools up in there still wrapped up and still in, you had to bust them open. And I didn't understand what this was. I didn't understand the functionality of it. But when I began to tinker around with it and put it on this situation and put it on that circumstance, it started doing some things in a way that promoted a resolve. Now, I'm not saying that I was the best at the resolvement at that time, but the more I went through that problem and the more I pressed through the test and grow through what I go through, things started to form up and take shape differently. And my dad said, no matter what, that part stood out to me. My wife and I have a daughter that's on life support, and she's actually the longest living person in the world with the severity of her syndrome. And I'm so grateful to God for blessing us with her, because she has truly tremendously changed my life in such a way that I can't describe. I can't put it into a category, guys. And it blessed me to be the father that I am to my sons, and the way that I do things, and the husband that I am to my wife, and the father that I am to my princess, because of the trials and the tribulations. And so when you think about living and leaving a legacy, what are you living? If it's not complicated and you're not persevering and having steadfastness and long-suffering endurance, and most importantly overall, a faith that's unshakable and a pillar that cannot be destroyed and being solidified in everything when the world is up against you, and the heaviness is on your back in such a way that you feel like you're going to collapse every step that you take, but you're still standing, even if your stand look like a crawl. And even if your crawl looks like you're flat on your face, but you're still moving, that means you're still standing. It doesn't matter the erection of it all. And so that no matter what part that my father told me, it allowed me to stay erected, even in the times of vulnerability, and knowing that I can't do it alone. I had to lean on God for it. And I have to show that to my boys, not just tell them about a legacy. I have to show them what a legacy looks like. Because my father showed it to me when he was on his dying bed. He still cracked a smile, even though the cancer was tearing him up. He still fist bumped me, even when it was hard for him to lift his arm. He still made sure that he told me that he loved me, even when his voice and his throat was so sore that it was cracking and his lips were peeling because of the sickness. He still showed me what perseverance and strength looks like. And so to live a legacy and to leave one, you have to endure some things. It's not just a title of it feels good and it looks good. It's who are you? Or you stand in character when God called you to do something and he say unconditionally, son, it's not just enough to say that I love you. You have to have agape. I'm not talking about eros. I'm not talking about filio. I'm not talking about any of those good things, but I'm talking about a God thing. And to live a legacy and to leave one, you have to have a God thing, character, and a God thing, atmosphere. Not look for the atmosphere, but be that very atmosphere that others are looking for. You have to know the beacon that you are. And I told that to my son, and I showed it to him first, Darius Jr. and Daniel. I told that to my daughter, and I continue to show it to her now. Deon's my favorite daughter because she's my only. I told that to my wife, Desiree, because I show it to her 28 years and counting, and I never will leave her by herself alone in anything good or bad. I'm telling you, I am here still pushing, still growing, still pressing and believing the word of God, because listen, living and leaving a legacy comes with something. And if you're not prepared, and if you're not ready to endure what it is that God says, listen, in order to live his word, you have to hear that word from him. And it comes from him. Living faith and growing faith comes from hearing the word of God. And my daddy was telling me that when he said, no matter what. My daddy was telling me that when he was still pushing through the cancer. My daddy was telling me that when he said, take care of your wife and your children no matter what. My daddy was telling me that when he said, don't dig in another man's toolbox without digging in yours first. My daddy was telling me these things at a young age that I grew into that size 13 that I wear now upon my foot when I was still in a size 5, 6, and 7. I grew through it and I'm still growing. And I'm telling you, if you're going through life, then you're not taking it seriously, then those that are connected to you and the things that are connected to you and your reason, your why, and your purpose, listen, you will not be catapulted in the way that was intended. You will not get to the spot that God has predestined. He said he prepared a place for us. So listen, whatever my chapter is in the book, and it's volume 10, and whatever the chapters were, and all the other volumes that are, listen, these are the words and the stories and the illustrations that our Heavenly Father has blessed me to go through and grow through. That's blessed me to press through these tests, and it's blessed me to add this value that I'm adding right now. I'm not doing this for a source of entertainment. This is my life. I don't know how many heartbeats remains for any of us, but I do know this. If I know that I don't know how many tomorrows remains, then every heartbeat and every speak and every breath that he put in my lungs and every heartbeat that he put in my chest, I will reflect the living word of God. I promise you that. I will not take it in vain. It's been a hard road, not just for me, but if you're viewing right now, and if you're sitting on as an author, a co-author, a visionary author, a host of the podcast, you better know that we're here for a reason. You better know that we are here for a purpose and a why. And you better know that if we're not serving it in the way that he intended it, then we're not reflecting the living word. We're not leaving a living legacy. We're not doing those things. But when we push whatever the adversity is, and when we stand up when the world telling us to sit down, that's when you know. It's not what you say, it's what you do. It's not what they said about you, it's what he said about you. So you got to remove the ing of what people are saying and reflect on the en, what God has spoken. He said he's prepared, not preparing a place for us. He said, this is the day that he has made. We shall, commandment, rejoice, rejoice all over it, and be glad in it. God don't ever want us to hang our head down no matter what it is that we're going through. He said he made the day. So what? And I said with all due respect to who's ever looking, and myself and my sister and my aunts and my uncles and everybody connected to my mother. But Darius, your mother died in your arms 2 years ago. Your brother died 21 months before she did. Suddenly, your daddy died when you were 15. Your daughter was on hospice the same time that your mother and your mother-in-law died 5 months apart. And in between that, your baby girl is on hospice. And you're still pressing, Darius, but nobody know it, living a legacy. Huh? You want to talk about a living legacy, leaving and living a legacy? Your daughter on hospice and your mama died in your arms, but you're still pressing. Your daddy died when you're 15 and you grew up in New Orleans and you had to still persevere. Your brother died 4 hours after you talked to him on the phone, talking about the impact of influence that just went #1 again in a different volume, and you still stood up and you're persevering. Huh? You're going through your own trials and tribulations, Darius, but you're still persevering. But guess what, son? Don't think that your sins and don't think that your trials and tribulations, don't think your words and your circumstances outweighs everybody else, because you're not the only one. So don't act like it. You're not the only one. So don't talk like it. You're not the only one, but you are one, and you better play your role. You better play your role. It's all right to understand and to feel the emotions, but don't stay there, because you stay there too long. The person who relying on you to take that one more step, they're going to be stuck behind you because they can't take theirs. So it may be hard. It may be trying, but I promise you, because he promised it first, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So no matter what, as my father told to me, no matter what you're going through, all due respect, you just keep on pressing. You hear me? You keep on moving. Do you understand what I'm telling you? You take that one more step, even when they tell you to sit down. And I promise you this, when the world is strong enough to grab you by your shoulders and slam you down, you better know that you have he's who inside of you that allows you to still stand internally. He's greater than anything that's in this world. So in my leaving and living a living legacy, I told my sons as I showed them in my notes. I told my daughter as I showed her. I told my wife as I show her in my note that no matter what it is that you're going through, no matter what weapon form, you understand that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And you continue to go get it. You continue to press forward. You continue to persevere. In the words of my father, their grandfather, father-in-law, and everyone else's friend, Irwin Byron Bradley, no matter what, you continue to go get it. And I thank you guys, man. I love you. Bless you so much.
I think Darius has spoken. Darius has spoken.
Man, that. Woof. I went to church, y'all. Man, that. Yeah. Everybody's speaking a big impact. I want to make sure I give it credit, but like, man, that made me think among myself. But that definitely is like remembering that you have a purpose, you have someone that you're living for, and always persevere, because you never know who needs to see it. And even through adversity, your trying, challenge, and tribulations, and much more, you still have a smile on your face and continue to push because someone needs you. And that right there will leave a legacy that I will just never get old. Because like each one of us on this show has someone watching us or needing us to persevere, so they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so thank you for those very powerful words, as leaving an impact. I mean, look, I expect nothing less from all these great authors as we do things, but as we come on to this, look, he's already smiling. He's trying to fix his glasses because he knows he's about to throw a haymaker himself. We are talking about the myth, the legend, and he sometimes a little bit humble, but don't let him get riled up with the crowd, because he's going to tell you to go get it. We are talking about the one and only Chip Baker.
Oh man, Chris, let's go, man. Let's go, man. It's so good, man. Just listening, man. It's so good to hearing, all the words and really my comments. I want to start with, yeah, what they said. Yeah, that's right. What they said. That's all I got. No. No, man, it's so good. Man, I just as I'm sitting here listening to everybody on the interview, and I mean, I know all of those things about them, and I know, the energy and the vibe and their heart and their purity, their good heart to help others, like, what they've learned, their journeys. Like, I know all of those things, but to hear all of those things as we've taken those and put them together and sharing our stories and our journeys, man, it's so good.
Oh, it's definitely really good, because like every word that each one of y'all on this is like hearing the haymaker or shot. It's like none less like, ooh, that's another lesson. Wait, I'm trying to wait, what? It's another lesson. Whoa, slow down.
It's so good, man. It's so good. I think that's the beauty of legacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of not just leaving a legacy, right? Because a lot of sometimes people, when you think of legacy, you think about what are you leaving behind. But more so living that legacy, right? Having that awareness to understand, okay, past, present, and future, right? Like, what have I learned in the past, from the people that have come before me? That's awareness, right? The awareness to understand, okay, from those lessons that I learned, how am I exhibiting those traits and living out those traits in my day-to-day actions? Right. And then the next phase is the future. Like, how am I passing down these traits? Do people see those things in me? Like, am I not just saying those things, but do they actually see me put those things into action? Right. Because we can say stuff all day, but your actions speak louder than your words. And so it's important, man, and Wood sit on this too, man. Like, each one of them, took a little flavor of my exact thoughts when I thought about living and leaving a legacy as well. And so, like, for me, in the past 13 years, man, I'll just say like this: I've been blessed to have 4 of my starting 5 go on to heaven, right? And that's I mean, you think about this. Okay, when you look at basketball, your starting 5 is your team, right? So 4 of my starting 5 have passed in the last 13 years. And so, when you're in funerals, like, it's different. Like, when you're at that funeral, you're sitting the first or second row. Like, that's different. If you're at a regular funeral, you're just sitting wherever. But like when you like that, like, you're in the first, so it's serious. And so it brings about a heightened sense of awareness. It brings about a reflection it brings about, you know, some things that you have to think about. Like I talked about past, present, and future. And so what I did in my chapter is, you know, I just broke those things down, you know, in doing those reflections and things that I learned. And I thought about the traits that those people exhibited. Right. And so, you know, and I'm an acronym guy, so I break down the word legacy. So I hit on love, and my grandmother Lois Ames exhibited that, right? And even further in this, I have a QR code with videos where I tell a story about each of these people, right? So now you can read the chapter, and then you can hit on the QR code. And then there's a video where I talk and give exact examples of how they exhibited those traits. My mother, encouragement, man, she was a huge encourager. My grandmother on my mom's side, Mimi, gratitude. My grandfather, my mom's side, Big Daddy, attitude, consistency. My father, right? That joker was consistent, man. Like you knew what you was gonna get from him.
He made sure he was like, in case you didn't hear me the last time,
yeah,
I'm
man,
gonna say
I
it
knew what he was
again.
gonna say. Like before I look at him, I know, here it come. I know.
He probably gave you that look like,
yeah, they give me the look. I know. You don't have to say it. I know. I got you. Right. He was consistent, man. And then the why in legacy is you. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me give you that one again, y'all. Hey, the why in
tell
legacy.
us for the people in the background. Tell them, because you need to wake them up.
Yeah. And so, like, you know, again, like I talked about, you know, what did we learn from those people? You know, how am I taking what I learned and using that, which brings us to the present, and then the future is how can I pass that on to the next generation? So for me, that was how I broke it down in my chapter. And again, I'm gonna just say it's so good because this is a legacy piece. I love how Adrian said, you know, we'll be able to pass this down to family members. Like that was the goal of the book. Major shout out to Woody for publishing. You know, we did some great work on piecing it together, making sure that it was of great quality, right? Because we know that, like, we want, you know, our loved ones to have great quality. So, you know, we did some different things that are different in this one that's not in the others because we want it to be of maximum great quality. And so, man, it's just so good. And I'm excited for the readers to get their hands on it because it's not just a piece for right now. It's a piece for forever. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Volume
Yeah.
on top of volume. Man, starting to feel it in my bones.
Man.
And you hit so much on like so much of a little time, and especially when we're talking about the word legacy, because I don't think we understand how powerful the word legacy is.
Oh, man.
It's like, if you really think about it, like a lot of our dreams and much more aspirations come from somebody else's legacy. And the fact that you are putting this all together is you're putting not only yours, but other group of great people into this great contribution of this book to leave their great legacy. And that's what it's about. Because this story we be told on and on forever for the days of time. And then that story be told from your kids, my kids, Darius' kids, DP's kids. And that's what it's all about. Keeping that story and keeping that legacy strong so it can leave a big impact to others as we continue to live the best days of our lives, as I would say, because that's what it is all about, cherishing the gift of life and living it one day at a time at our best each and every day. So
Yeah,
with that
Chris,
said,
you know, man, you know, just hearing you say that, man, I want to throw this out there too, man. It makes my heart happy and my soul happy. That now, you know, like in doing these things, I mean, like even since the time we've been on the interview, you know, it's people that know those people that I talked about, and they know what they exhibited in their life, right? What they showed, like people that have hit me up and say, man, like when I see you do this, it reminds me of your mom, right? She would be so proud of you. You know, like things like that. You know, I had a lady that commented, you know, yesterday on something about the book deal. You know, I love your family, and your grandparents were, you know, great for me. You know, they would be so proud of you. You know, just like things like that. Like it shows like that's how it happens, right? And so we just continue to do our part within that legacy journey, if you will.
Absolutely. Just you putting your part in, and again, like I say, you never know who's watching. With that said, though, like before we do close things, I'm gonna have a little fun with it. I'm gonna call this like the lightning round, where you specifically, he said, that's that. Sound alarm. Let him get ready. So I want each one of you to pretty much tell the audience, the readers of the future of this book, what you want them specifically to focus on as they read your section of the chapter. So we're going to start with my man, DP. What do you want them to specifically remember? And we continue just like the last cycle.
I go back to the things that we say the most. Thank you, love you, well done. Take from that in everything that you do in your day. It's a GPS for your day. Thank you for the day. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the lessons you're about to learn. Thank you for the tasks that you have in front of you, the things you have to learn, and the things that you think you have to learn. We say what we know versus what we think we know. Say thank you for all of those things that day, today, 22,827. Sunrises and sunsets, 749 months of opportunity. I say thank you for each one up front and direct on purpose. Then I have to say, I love you so much in my day, so consistently in my day. Love you. To my brothers in this book, to my brothers in this Zoom, I love you. I mean that in full. I don't mean it in passing. It is not a tentative thing. It is not a conditional thing. It is thank you. I love you for adding to my life, for adding to my day, to adding this moment, because it's the only day that the six of us got together to love on each other and others on purpose. And then at the end of this thing, like the end of this book, and at the end of this Zoom call, at the end of this show, we can all say to each other, I say to Brother Holmes, Brother Baker, Brother Bradley, Brother Jackson, Brother Woods, to anybody that's going through their thing, however you go through your thing, whatever way you got to go through to get your growth through, all of those things, as you go get it, and it's gotten, at the end of the day, at the end of the thing, you say, well done, well done, well done. Give that to yourself, because that is love of self, so that you can love others. Can't pour unless it's full. Love in full. Well done.
Awesome. All right, Brother Charles, lightning round. Go ahead and tell the audience on what you want them to specifically focus on as they read your legacy.
Really just diving in and thinking about what it means to them to be good people. You know, like I said before, my focus is on being good people. Am I a good person for others? So really just thinking about what that means to them and making sure that they're surrounding themselves with good people so they can accomplish and do all the things that they need to do in life to leave an impact on others. So that's where my focus is, and I would like for them to focus on that as well. That's what I came up with when I talk about being a legacy, that I want people to remember me as being a good person and helping others and being about service to others. So just really intentionally focusing on being good people.
Focus on being good people. I hear you. That's good. Great. All right. Adrian, come as you mays.
You know, we have a motto here at Cal Farley's that says to our young people when they come to live with us, we say it's not where you started, but it's where you're going. And, you know, that motto it fits my story. You know, And so what I like to leave is something I wrote in the book, and I'm an acronym person like Chip, and live with purpose, empower others, be that spirit that does that, grow continuously. You never arrive. I think Charles mentioned you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. Always have surround yourself with multi-talented people that you can grow from, and even today, listen to all you amazing guys on this, man. I just had moments of growth, act with integrity, be a man of your word, create a positive change with all the negativity in this world, right? That's all background noise. All this negativity is background noise. Be that spirit of positive change and yearn for connection. We were hardwired to belong and connect and have relationships, and so that's what I want people to get out of it, right? Is definitely when you can do those things, that you live a life of legacy, and you will leave one. Thank you.
Such impactful, powerful words. Love that. Love that. Now, Darius, you ready? Don't break my mic, man. No, I'm playing. What do you want the listeners to focus as they read your part of the chapter of this book?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna just dive right on in and be direct, because as I said earlier, man, like no one knows how many tomorrows remains for any of us. And so my words are my words, right? If I articulate it or not. But for me, it's not about the articulation. It's about the resuscitation. I'm speaking directly to the areas that are trying to collapse in your life. We're talking about your life right now. So this is something that you can apply right now. Like if we really don't know how many tomorrows remains for any of us, then we have to be intentional and deliberate about everything that we're doing right now. Brother Adrian just said the background noise. Listen, it's going to be there. That's a contributing factor. But our determining factors, what are we going to do about it? Right? Who are we going to be? Are we going to stay in character, or are we going to become someone differently because the contributing factors are upon us? Guys, listen, the pain that we're going through is just an indicator. And it's illustrating who we are, where we are, and who it is that we are to become. And so, guys, listen, with that being said, my title and my chapter is titled No Matter What. No matter what it is that you're going through, keep going. No matter what the situation and the circumstances are, keep going. Listen, believe it. Don't just read it. Put your name in the Bible and remove the Paul, the James, the Peter, the Matthew. Put your name there and know that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Someone's dependent on you. And if you don't do it, they're going to be just as greatly affected by whatever it is that you're going through if you don't grow through it, if you don't press through the test. Listen, whatever it is in your finances, your health, your relationships, I don't care. And I say that with all due respect, whatever the situation may be, continue to press forward motion because you can. Don't worry about the doctor's report. They're there to do a job. They're going to tell you what it is that they found. But what did our Heavenly Father tell you? What did He say about the situation? Don't worry about the job because they laid you off and your money is funny right now. Listen to me. God shall provide. Gratitude over everything, guys. Even if we're in the happiest moment of our lives or the darkest moments of our lives, gratitude is the skeleton key that will allow the door to open. So if we can be grateful in all things, not for, but in all things because of who's in there with us, then I promise you guys, everything that we're pressing will pass the test. We'll get to what's next, and we'll realize just how extremely blessed we truly are. So no matter what, continue to press through the test and go get it.
Continue to press and go get it. Man, oh man. But you know who else is about? Go get it. As we move on to the one and only, he's like, yeah, Chip Baker. What do you want them to focus on in your story, your legacy, your impact? of influence?
Yeah, Chris, man, I just think the word that comes up for me is value. We all have to understand that we have value. We all have to understand that value is important. We have value. Value has been put into us, right? The sign that you have value is that you're like Darius say, you're breathing, you're here, you have value, right?
Let me go ahead and say this too. I'm giving you alley up to this. I like
Yeah,
when people hear wealth. I think most people just think of money, but the fact that you have breath in your lungs and you're still waking up, that by itself means you are wealthy. He's just blown away. But I'm being so dead serious when I say that, because I just think about like how quickly you can be here and gone the next. And I think we need to remind each other that the fact that you are still breathing, that is wealthy, man. I just had to say that. Continue as on your lightning round, but I just had to remind people wealth is on that level as well.
Oh, for sure. It's just one statement. Know that you have value, and your value can and will influence and impact.
You are definitely enjoying this. And all good things must come to an end. But before we end this show, I want each one of these brothers to go and tell the audience, and we're going to keep the same rotation, where can they find you to follow and keep the great story? Because, all of us have some great stories going on. But we want to make sure that they're able to follow you and keep up and be impacted. All right, so go ahead. DP, where can they find you?
They can find me. My name is my brand, Derek Pearson, through all channels. If you're feeling feisty, you want to talk some ball, theticketfm.com in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Awesome. Charles?
All right, on all platforms, you can find me under Charles Woods, WW. That's Charles Woods, WW on all platforms.
On all platforms, Adrian P. Jackson. You can go to my author page on Adrian P. Jackson, author, speaker, trainer on Facebook also.
Darius?
All right, guys, listen, I would love for you to continue to go get it with me. You can find me on Facebook at Darius Bradley Sr., parentheses, Divine Encourager. And on Instagram, it's divine underscore encourager on Instagram as well. At divine underscore encourager underscore. I'm sorry.
You're good. We good. And they see the handle as well. So you're in all good hands. And now we're going to go ahead with Chip. Where can they find you?
Yes, sir. All of my social media is at Chip Baker TSC, as in The Success Chronicles, except for X, and it's Chip Baker 19.
Awesome. And again, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Keep that motivation going. You can find me, as you see the social handle right here, at C Holmes, or you can go to soulproduction.biz on YouTube, Facebook, and all other platforms, Apple, and much more. So what can I leave the audience as we sign off for this? You never know who's watching. Always live an impacting life. Your wealth is born with the breath of your lungs, something that your mother gave you. So always live an impact and live the best days of your life. And with that, we are out. Catch you next time, and peace.